A very good afternoon on behalf of India Fintech Forum. I am Medha, and here we have with us today Mr. Manish Patel, founder and CEO of Mswipe Technologies. He has been championing the financial inclusion of SME businesses for over a decade now. He has spearheaded Mswipe in developing an end-to-end technology stack for reliable POS terminals and payment-related value-added services. Hello, Mr. Patel. Welcome to our Fintech Leadership Series.
Thank you very much for having me on your show. Appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. So, Mr. Patel, how did you envision Mswipe's journey during its inception in 2011? And with the entry of new paytech players, how have you transitioned from, say, a blue ocean strategy to a red ocean strategy?
First of all, I don't know why you say that there was ever a blue ocean, right? India is never a blue ocean.
Right.
When we started out, we were competing with banks, and they're formidable competitors. So it's always been a red ocean. Yes, there was some white spaces that we exploited. While banks were traditionally focused on large and mid-sized enterprises,
Right.
we decided to focus on the SME sector, and that is what we focused on over the past decade. Yes, we have seen the entry of a lot of players in the market. So it is crowded, but on the flip side, it's a very large market, right? The current estimates are the addressable terminalizable merchant base in the country is close to about 10 to 12 million, right? And as you know, the total number of POS terminals or terminalized merchants in the country is barely about 4.8 or 4.9 million. And that is the absolute number of terminals, right? So if you were to dedupe it, it is there's still a lot of room for everyone to grow.
Great. So speaking of the number of total POS terminals that we have, Mswipe is currently partnering with nearly 6.75 POS merchants and 10 lakh QR merchants. So how did you go about building this scale, particularly with SME businesses, which is a very dispersed segment?
Our strategies have changed, over time. We started out, 10 years ago. At that point in time, digital was just starting to happen in terms of customer acquisition, and our strategy largely relied on traditional feet on street.
Right.
We also saw a lot of tailwinds, due to Demon in 2015, 2016, and post that, of course, because of the massive democratization of the internet and smartphones, a lot of engagement and acquisition has started to move digital, right? And that those are a large part of our go-to acquisition strategy now, right? So as of today, it's a fair mix between traditional feet on street and digital, that we employ to be able to sign up new customers.
Makes sense. So how have major events like, say, the demonetization that took place in 2016 and the COVID-19 pandemic, how has that affected shifts or pivots in Mswipe's business model?
I mean, significant shifts, right? Both of these have been tectonic events.
Right.
One is the demonetization was a large tailwind for us. It also set the tone for the need of digital acceptance infrastructure at retail establishments around the country. We saw unbridled growth, post that. COVID has been a little humbling, because we were largely offline SME focused.
Right.
We had a lot of our merchants, during the 9 months of lockdown, unable to transact, uh, and because the establishments were closed. But thankfully, we also had more than 50% of our network, which consists of small shops, the kiranas, pharmacies, doctors' clinics, and path labs. They continue
Right.
to grow during the pandemic, and so it was a mixed bag. Um, so yeah, I mean, both of these events have been, polar, right, and a lot of learning experience for us.
Okay. So recently, India has witnessed a rapid multiplication of digital payment tools in the form
Mm.
of, say, e-wallets or UPI, net banking, or Aadhaar-enabled payment system. And this has gone far beyond the classical approach of just plastic money. So which of these technologies do you think will be key in shaping the future of digital payments, and how is Mswipe adapting to this diversity of tools?
Look, if I was to um, envisage what would be the state of affairs at the end of the next decade, I would hazard a guess by saying that, well, people would largely use their mobile phone as a payment instrument, right? And,
Right.
and everything that you've mentioned is ultimately a platform, right? What I mean by that is, any payment network has two components, right? It's got an issuing side and it's got an acquiring side. Um, the issuing side, you can use a plastic card to identify who the account holder is, or you can use a VPA, which is a
Mhm.
virtual private
Payment address.
address, to identify who the account holder or the benefit, the payee is. Um, that will continue to evolve, right? I mean, it could be NFC. Now, today it's NFC. Tomorrow it's going to be NFC embedded in your phone. So your
Right.
card is essentially tokenized, and you carry a copy of that card in your phone,
Yeah.
right? Um, and on the acceptance side, whether it's a QR or whether it's a NFC terminal, or again, the merchant's phone, which has
Mm.
software to be able to identify payment instruments. I think uh, over time, countries like India will gravitate to this type of an ecosystem. Uh, I still feel that NFC is the most convenient and secure mechanism for offline transactions, and that will be the dominant form factor. Now, whether that's an NFC card that is tapped on a terminal or a phone of the merchant, or UPI, which the UPI handle, which is then identified as via an NFC tap again on the merchant's phone or
Right.
terminal, is where I see offline payments largely gravitating.
Great. So going forward in the growth story of Mswipe, what is next?
Technology innovation, continuing to deliver simple, easy to understand technology,
Right.
payment products for our customers, and providing them, value-added financial services uh, over the payment layer. We
Right.
already have our lending service that went live in January of this year. Right. So I mean, for us, we've got this all charted out for us, right? So we're going to continue to provide the best payment technologies, and fulfill the capital needs of SMEs in this country.
That's wonderful. So finally, what have been your key learnings so far in your entire entrepreneurial journey?
Hmm, quite a few. Okay. First one is in the payment space. in India, and this is specific to India, you can get scale very, very fast, but at the end of the day, monetization is still a question mark.
Right.
You know, and unless you have a very well thought through monetizable business model in place, it will you will hit some kind of a speed bump or a wall at some point in your journey. And a sharp focus on your CAC and your LTV, again comes down to how efficient you are in terms of costs.
Right.
Ultimately, in my view, will win.
Well, that was it was very nice talking to you. That's all
Yeah.
for today. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a great week, Mr. Patel.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.